we are live.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming here. We have today a very special subject from an experiment I just ran. We gave each subject some rhododendron leaves, and we decided to test to see how that one dose reacted with them. Subjects 1 is just perfectly fine. Subject 2 is currently on the mend. They somehow injured themselves and they would not stop bleeding. It seems to be a clotting issue. They've managed to stop eventually and is currently getting some treatment, but should be fine. And then subject 3, which is here on this table, had a lot of symptoms. It started off with a lack of appetite, followed by vomiting, excessive defecation, and then eventually leading to irregular heartbeat, increased heartbeat, seizure, and death. Got any questions so far?
So, will eating a rhododendron make me poop and die?
If you eat enough of it and you happen to survive, yes, it will.
Okay, good to know. We'll avoid.
Carlson raises his hand.
Yes, Carlson?
What's a rhododendron?
Rhododendron was a very common yard plant back before the war. You see them a lot around White Springs and such. It has been used by the settlers as a medicinal tea. Some older folks said it helped deal with some of their issues.
Are you talking about me?
So is this a substance that gets you high, or?
No, it doesn't get you high, but it definitely has some sort of medicinal property, as it did cause all those symptoms in the different subjects.
Is it like a painkiller, or?
I'm trying to figure that out. From the lack of clotting, I'd say it's some sort of blood thinner.
Oh.
Don't painkillers do that?
Yes,
Like
painkillers can also do that, but I don't know how to test a Molerat's pain response very well, and I didn't really think of that.
I'm just a question here. I'm guessing that each different Molerat's got a different dosage, and this Molerat got the highest?
Yes, this particular Molerat had 3.5 cups worth of the rhododendron leaves.
Bloody hell.
What sort of
Yes.
behavior have we seen from one with the higher dosage?
As I said, it was a lack of appetite, excessive defecation, vomiting, and then during some tests, I recognized irregular heartbeat and increased heartbeat, and then just before it died, it had seizures.
So,
So a possible stimulant, maybe?
what is the goal of today's autopsy? Is it to find out what other things happened to its body because of it, or?
Yeah, I want to see if there's any internal damage to try and clear up this picture, and maybe gather a few blood samples and the such just to see what it did to its blood.
Red Lion raises his hand.
Yes, Redline.
Were there any observable differences in the creature? Did its eyes change or anything after taking this rhododendron?
I did not notice any pupil dilation or anything like that. All I noticed was behavioral changes.
Oh, right, okay.
So we're trying to determine if the substance itself was the cause of death for the Molerat?
Yes, and what may have caused death.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it does sound like you had a few too many. I mean, I've had a few nights where I had a few too many, quote-unquote rhododendrons and, pooped a little bit.
Wow. What's the first step, Steel?
Well, first and foremost, we should take our blood samples I would like Doc Mello to do that since he is currently attempting to become a proper medic without his mentats. Isn't that right, Doc?
Oh, yeah, that should be fine. Okay, let's get the needle, and I will see if I can remember what to do.
Steele picks up the needle from the table and holds it out to Doc Mello.
Stone backs up a little bit.
All right. Veterinary sciences. You know what? We're just gonna try over here. And Mello stabs the needle just in the forearm of the mole rat.
So watch out for the intestines. We don't want it to, explode whatever after lunch.
Well, we're not cutting into it quite yet, but you are right. We don't want to nick any of the intestines or stomach because that could cause a burst and that would be messy.
Do you want to roll, Steel?
Well, Doc Mello just got his samples, so yeah, I'll roll for doing
Oh, sorry,
the initial
yeah.
incision.
Sorry, I meant myself for getting the sample.
Oh yeah, you roll for that. It's science, I believe. Or medicine. Let's do medicine for you. Because that is sort of a medicine-y thing.
Okay, 17. That's success.
Perfect. Okay. Can someone label these samples? And then the next step would be to make an incision from the collarbone all the way down to its navel. And would anybody like to take that honors? Otherwise, I will do it.
I mean, I wouldn't mind.
You good
Yeah,
with the
he
knife
likes-
there, Martin?
Oh, I love knives.
He's got a thing
Okay,
for touching
Well,
dead things.
as we said, make sure not to go too deep and be careful. We do not want to nick any of its intestines or other internals.
Is it supposed to smell like this?
Roll a melee check. One-handed.
I'm sorry.
So that's why we're wearing
Okay.
the masks. I don't know how you came in here without some sort of barrier against your face.
Yeah, that's probably why it smells that bad, man.
Is this rhododendron, is this a new species since after the war?
It has mutated somewhat, but it seems to be more physical changes than actual property changes.
Oh, well, this is the exciting then. We're like the first cavemen to taste berries to find out if they're the deadly ones or not.
Why, man? You can just eat blackberries and not worry about that.
Yeah.
Well,
think
what's the
about it.
fun in that?
I don't know. No one dies.
Well, kudos to those cavemen that tried the berry to see if they're delicious and then died.
How's it going over there, Martin? The incision clean?
Sorry, I was focusing. I think I got this. This looks good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You didn't nick the internals. Okay.
I'm gonna step
Steel
away now.
immediately. Yep, go ahead. Steel immediately starts peeling back the skin and tacking it to the table. Okay. Steel pulls out a large pair of bolt cutters. Who's gonna remove the rib cage?
Ooh, I'll do that.
Okay, walk on over here. Steel hands over the bolt cutters.
Alright. Alright, so
Just try and get as close to the skin as possible, and we only need to cut the bone. So roll a strength check for me.
Alright. That's a D10, right?
Yes, it is.
Alright. Let's rip this right open like a turkey. Looks like I was good.
You very quickly jerk the bolt cutters closed, and everybody can hear the wet crunch of bone being shattered.
Oh.
Ho
Earth.
That's a nasty sound.
There we go. Steel pulls out the front plate of the rib cage. Now we can get to all of its gut.
Ooh, that's smelly. I'm gonna step back.
Okay, so since I noted that there were heart problems before death, we should probably go looking around the heart, see what we can find.
What a lovely
Hey.
specimen.
Okay, who wants to take a look?
I
Yeah.
will give it a go.
Anyone who takes a look, do a perception check.
I did when I passed.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at here, Doc.
Well, okay, everyone who passed their check, what you can see is the heart looks just fine, but the muscles around the heart that control its contractions and palpitations and such are bruised.
Interesting. How did that happen?
That
you
looked
think?
good.
Could it be from the rapid increase in heart rate just before death?
Maybe.
That could be.
What, the organ pounding against the rib cage maybe caused some bruising?
Or just the muscles being worked past capacity could also be an issue. That's definitely interesting. We'll make note of that.
Like the organ enlarged somehow?
Okay, Doc, what do you think we should look at next?
Well,
Perhaps-
oh, go ahead, Stone.
Perhaps the liver, as blood is filtered through there for cleansing, and I'm guessing that the body must have tried to fight off whatever was damaging it, and we may find samples of what that was in the liver.
That's a good idea. We'll take a look and take a sample for later look under a microscope.
If you don't mind, I will do that.
Go ahead, roll yourself a melee check for the sample taking, and then roll a perception check to see if you notice anything different about the look.
I have failed the perception check.
Okay, you do not notice anything different about this liver. It seems just healthy to you.
The liver actually looks pretty fine to me. Just going off a general basis. However, if anyone would like to take a second look, feel free.
Why don't me and the doc have a look?
Yeah, okay. I'd also like to examine the kidneys as well, see if there's any kidney failure.
Good idea.
Yeah, I left feel is the skin yellow at all?
Roll yourself a perception check to see if you notice anything weird about the skin.
So out of character, how do we do special checks like perception?
Just a D10.
And we're rolling equal to or lower?
Yes.
Yes.
Is perception always a D10?
All of your special stats are a D10. Your skills themselves are a D100.
Perfect. Thank you. That's a successful perception for the kidney.
Okay, so both me and you notice that it's minute, but there's a lot of damage to the liver, extremely fresh, and has no healing marks at all.
This is almost consistent with someone being poisoned in a rapid way.
I've never dealt with poisoning, so I'll have to trust your word on that, but there's definitely a lot of small damage to this liver.
Yeah, I wonder if the rhododendron acts as a sort of toxin.
And then, Martin, how did you do on your perception check?
I don't see anything.
Okay, that is definitely interesting. And you got the sample, Mr. Stone?
Correct? Yes, I got a sample.
Okay, perfect. And then, anyone else want to take a look before we happen to move along to the kidneys?
Yeah, I'll take a look at the skin.
Okay, do a perception roll.
Alright, yeah, I definitely noticed something here. Very
So you look
peculiar.
at the skin and you notice that there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it.
Oh, my eyes are just playing tricks on me. It's a mole rat. It's hard to tell. It's got weird skin. Never mind.
Yes, extremely thick, so it can be very craggly and hard to really notice much.
Yep.
Okay, Doc, let's move on to the kidneys. Steel
Okay.
starts to move some of the guts and intestines that are in the way so that it can be visually seen.
Oh, man, that sounds disgusting.
Like tossing a salad.
Milo starts to reach in, but you can see that his hand is shaking a little bit.
You need to take a little break, Doc? You want me to pull it out?
Yeah, let me just sit down for a minute. You go ahead.
Okay. Steel reaches his other hand in and starts to lightly pull it out. And you see it has a connection. Can someone come over here and cut this connection so that we can take this out and get a better look?
Yeah, sure, Doc. You want me to roll?
It's easy to see and we're being careful, so not for this one.
Alright, snip, snip. There you go.
The small cord gives sort of a wet pop and falls. Okay, let's cut this open, see if there's anything weird in the kidney. Steel expertly slices it directly in half so that everything on the inside can be seen.
Dang, that's like peeling an onion.
Feels just like it. Okay.
These food analogies are gross.
I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you.
Not gonna lie, you guys are kind of making me sick to my stomach. This is gross.
Yeah.
We should definitely get some chow later. I heard Yasmin was doing something special today.
Just think of it like a meat sauce, you know? Making spaghetti.
Oh
Martin
god.
throws up in his mouth a little bit.
Okay, I think you're turning them off of their lunch. Let's continue on. Who wants to take a look at this kid?
I will give it a go.
Okay,
And help if needed.
do a perception roll. I
Go ahead.
failed.
I noticed something.
Okay, so
And
Looking
I know
at
something
it-
as well.
you notice that the kidney is bloated, like it has been overworked to the point of being unable to function.
Oh man, that's not looking so good.
And it looks like a water balloon.
What's happened to it?
I couldn't really tell you what happened to it.
Ah, mystery.
They ate some rhododendron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
past that.
I've come to the conclusion rhododendron is poisonous, at least to mole rats. So,
Perhaps
Well,
the
I think it might have just been too large of a dose because the first and second one had no issue with.
Ooh,
that could
maybe
be.
we can use this as a pesticide.
Yeah.
Aha.
I'm thinking we should plant them all over everywhere.
Or mole rats. That's just mean.
Maybe that's why White Springs look so good with their yards, because they use this as a way to deter the creatures away.
That's pretty smart.
Maybe. Okay, and then is there anything else any of the doctors think we should look at?
you said Molerat's defecated, so I believe we should check the bladders.
Okay, let's check the bladder and intestinal tract.
Shall you lead
Okay.
or shall I assist?
Why don't you lead for a moment here?
Stone picks up the tools needed.
Okay, so for the intestines, we want to take a slice sample and take a look at what the inside at. So roll a melee check for me.
I failed the melee.
So you go to slice open the intestine, but when you try and take a slice, the knife slips and you nearly cut yourself.
Ooh,
I will shit.
What?
careful. Don't want to cut yourself.
Stone takes a deep breath, calms his nerves. Alright, I will try this again.
Okay, give it a -5 for the nerves.
This time I pass.
Okay, you cut off a sample of the intestine, and now everybody who is looking do a perception check.
I can't see anything.
Neither, man.
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I do.
Okay, as Doc Mello sees, the intestines are completely empty and are cleaner than the insides of an intestine should be, especially for an animal that gets fed 3 times a day.
Hey, Carlson, did they use rhododendron in Salisbury steak?
You gotta
No,
scare Carlson away.
no, man. That dude hated vegetables.
Look, I think Carlson wants to know the answer to that.
Seems to have cleaned this mole rat right out.
Yeah, it makes sense with the reports of frequent defecation. And the lack of appetite, too.
Think it works that way on people?
I'll have to
Maybe in
try
a
it
high enough dose.
next time I'm blocked up with sugar bombs.
Yeah, just don't go overboard with it, because as we can see here, that is not pleasant.
This is too clean. Yeah, perhaps the bacteria that is stored in your intestines that helps you. How should I put it? Process your food on the way down. Can lead to some serious intestinal issues. For sure, now we should check the bladders to make sure.
Yep, go ahead and locate the bladders, and we'll remove one.
Maybe mole rats just don't digest anything, man. They just like eat endlessly.
What shall I roll for the bladder?
You can't really see it, and you're removing it, so I'd say another melee weapon check with -5, because you're not able to quite see it.
Don't mole rats like eating dirt? Wouldn't they be filled up with like ground and stuff?
Right?
Maybe they
Doesn't seem
poop
like
out dirt
they
a lot.
eat it. It seems more like they just dig it off to the side at a very fast rate. I don't think they actually eat it.
Wait, they don't work like worms?
No, I think they work more like pre-war moles.
Yeah, worms don't try to eat
That's
humans.
strange.
The mole rats apparently love meat.
We don't know that.
Steel or
But with
metal?
their sharp teeth, they... Oh, yep, go ahead.
Can I get one of you to come help me hold the intestines aside so I can get a better look at the bladder?
Yep. Steel goes and grabs the intestines, moves them out of the way with a very wet schlop.
Ugh.
Nice.
There we go. Thank you. Yes.
Perfect. So, you want to do the honors, Doc Mello, and cut this little orb open for us?
Yeah, feeling a little better. Let me give it a shot. Nope.
And if anybody wants to take a look at anything in specific, we can always do that. Don't feel bad for speaking up and moving us on to another spot.
Not gonna lie, this is kind of gross. So
That's a 98. That's a big nope.
Yikes. So you go to slice it, but it's kind of wet and slimy, so it slips off to the side, and you actually do cut yourself.
Please exit the area at
Ow.
your earliest convenience. Thank you
Oh,
for your cooperation.
Okay, let's get you some antiseptic and a band-aid on that. We don't know where this stuff's been.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm going to go wash up.
Wash it in rhododendron.
Aha.
Okay, maybe I should cut this one, just because it's a bit awkward in size and shape.
All right, I'll hold the intestines for you.
Steel goes to also cut it, and he slips and cuts himself as well. Ah, damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, that's... You can give it a try, but be careful. Yep, that thing's unbelievably slippery. I'm gonna go wash this.
Well then, okay.
Constance successfully makes the cut.
All right, everybody's gonna be walking out here with cut hands.
Thank you very much, Constance.
Yeah, no problem. I guess we'll just wait for Steel for a sec so he can tell us what to do next.
Roll a perception roll while I'm gone.
We have to put those guys on quarantine for a little bit to see if they get any reactions from
I rolled a 4, so my perception was
exposure.
successful.
Same.
You'll notice that it is completely empty and dry as well, and is definitely not normal. You would expect an animal to at least have a little something there.
Well, that's weird. It's all dried up.
Like a prune.
Can we stop talking about food while we do this, please?
Yeah, for real.
Never.
Wonder what Molerat sausage tastes like.
Oh,
Probably
dude.
like
I could always make
diarrhea
it.
and throw up.
Looks like dried up leather.
Well, I like my steak chewy, so why not my Molerat sausage?
Dude, I'm gonna walk out of this shit vault.
Ooh, I wonder if we could throw those intestines on the grill. See if we can get some mole rat sausage.
I would not eat the intestines. You can get very sick from that.
I wouldn't
Well, you
eat
gotta
this
clean
one.
out the intestines and then you throw the meat.
Do you think these could
Use
be
Isn't
the
this one
domesticated?
leaf.
What was that,
Isn't
Carl?
this dude like chock full of diuretics?
He's chock full of poisonous substances, so I wouldn't eat this guy, but I can always try and make some sausage casings out of the next mole rat we take down.
I'm game for that. I'll try it out.
Do you think they could be like domesticated?
Potentially, they've been a lot friendlier towards me, the newer broods.
I've had the exact opposite experience.
You just gotta figure out their food source and use that as a ward system to control their behavior.
Yeah, they're still a bit nippy, but since I've been feeding them and taking care of them, the newer broods have been a lot friendlier towards me than the wild kind.
Are they nice to everyone or just you since you feed them?
Well, no one else has gone to visit them at all.
That's fair. I'll come visit them soon.
Okay, so we've checked out the digestive tract, we've checked out the heart, we've checked out the liver, and the kidneys. Should we try cracking the head open?
Don't see why not.
Okay, so I will remove the skin. Does someone else want to remove the skull cap?
Yeah, I can do that. What do you want me to roll?
Roll yourself a melee check. I will be doing the same.
Oh, is that the time already? I have an appointment with Paladin Africa. I've got to head out, but thank you all for the education.
All right, Mel.
See you later, Mel.
See him. Oh, sorry, Steel. Ah, man, I totally jacked this up, dude.
So, Steel scrapes the skin from the top of the head down to the bone, making sure it's clean, and then he moves aside for Joe?
Sharp.
Sharp. I was thinking Sharp, and then I double guessed myself.
Do I look like Jim?
So Sharp picks up a bone saw that was sitting on the table, starts it up with a whirl, and he goes to start cutting it, was not expecting it to try and run away from him, and drops it.
Whoa, careful, man.
All right, it's rolling. It's rolling.
Watch your feet.
Let me pick that up. All right, I got it. Sharp brings it back to the table.
Cut up my toe, dude.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe get something else to try to cut this.
It's very slippery. I've noticed a lot of you have cut yourselves or dropped it.
I think a few guys have the shakes.
Yeah, I'm not used to making these kind of
Okay.
cuts.
Who else wants to try taking off the skull cap? Constance?
Yeah, let me give it a shot. Constance botches it up even worse than Sharp.
So this time, learning from Sharp's mistake, you anticipated that there would be some attempted movement. You did not expect it to go straight through the skull.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh wow, that's a headshot.
Okay, I will take this cap off and we'll see what damage has been done.
Turning these brains into mashed potatoes, man.
Roll casualty on the brain.
Yep.
Actually, the brain's more like jello.
I mean, isn't
So-
it normally?
Steel removes the cap, and I'm doing a casualty roll for the brain. You see that the part where Constance punched through was very far away from the brain, so other than a minor furrow running through it, there is little to no damage.
Oh, that's close.
Phew.
Ah, very good. We have a medic in making here.
I'm better at gutting than I am heal.
Yeah, I hope I'm never in a situation where you guys gonna take a bone saw to me.
You could do it, Sharp. I mean, Steel.
Well, all you have to do is tap dance on a landmine.
Yeah, I'd
Already
be
had
better
someone
off.
do that.
Better at decapitating than I am good.
Okay.
May I take a look at the brain?
So, yep, let's take a look at the brain here.
The roll is D10.
Oh, I noticed something here.
I think I do.
So everyone who's looking noticed that there are multiple bruising points on the brain.
So
Ooh.
is this bruising from the saw or?
No, it wouldn't be from the saw. It might have been from the seizure.
No, I'm,
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
gaining
like
a
he
lot of
might have hit
info
his
that
head
you
a bunch
shouldn't
of
take
times.
that many rhododendrons. It seems like it really fucks you up.
Yeah, I think that was a bit high of a dosage.
Is it possible it was hitting its head whenever it was having the seizures?
It's completely possible. I found it thrashing on a concrete floor, so
Ah, that would make sense for the bruising on the brain then.
could be our cause of death.
Severe head trauma? Hmm.
So your job isn't to just like drug animals, right?
No, I'm the mess officer.
I'll be right back. I'll check something for Africa.
I mean,
Roger.
we certainly made a mess. You got that right.
Well, we're just being thorough on the injuries that it sustained from its use of the substance.
Yep, I'm also acting biologist until we can find someone more suited, so this is part of my job.
I mean, it makes
Wait,
sense.
so you serve the food
Yep, I make and serve the food.
with the same hands you just did? Ugh. Sorry.
Hey, I thoroughly wash my hands, and I'm not the only one in the kitchen. Yasmin's taken over today, so I can do this.
Yeah, he makes great food. Makes roach into a great cuisine.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm not having any mole rat meat today.
Don't worry, we had rat stag on the menu today.
Ooh, oh, excellent.
More rats tomorrow.
Hey, don't forget about that sausage. I'm trying to get that Molerat sausage. Yeah.
Yep, that'll definitely be a fun experiment, but I think we've gotten about all we can from this guy, unless one of the docs think there's something else that could be connected to this.
I'm not a doctor, but has it got any kind of tumors or anything? Did we see? I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to have any tumors or lesions or anything other than the bruising.
What about the tongue? Have we checked that out yet?
We have not checked out the tongue. Steel turns the Morat's head over and props open its mouth. Who wants to take a look at this thing's tongue?
Yeah, I'll take a look. Ah, definitely noticed something here.
Okay, you look at its tongue, and other than the fact that it looked like it bit its own tongue, you don't really notice much else.
Oh man, it looks like it chewed down its own tongue. That's interesting.
I had to hurt. Maybe that's what did it in.
Oh goodness.
Ouch.
I don't think that would have hurt enough to kill it, but it looks like it was bleeding quite a bit. It might have choked on its own blood.
Oh God.
Ooh, death by suffocation.
Yeah, that paired with head trauma, it could definitely have died from either of those two.
God, this sounds like a horrible
So,
death.
just throwing out there, Steel. You gave this animal these rhododendrons, right?
Yes, I did.
So you gave him the things that made it die a horrible death.
Yeah, and I've done a lot worse.
Note
Oh,
to
he
self,
didn't-
never
Oh.
piss off Steel.
He didn't
That's-
mean to. It was
that's-
obviously an accident, right, Steel?
Yes, it was an accident. I did not want any of the creatures under my protection to die, but at least through this, we can understand why it died and can help keep people from dying.
I mean, I'm just gonna say I'm kind of okay with Molerat's dying.
Yeah, I think it's a good cause.
I just think one of you
Okay.
guys should take the rhododendrons instead of me next.
Well, you want to see if its lungs filled up with blood?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, who wants to do the cutting for this?
I'll give it another go.
Okay, walk on up and do your melee check.
Don't cut yourself.
Oof, I got a 93, so I failed that really badly.
Oh man.
Okay, so you go to cut the lungs, and you do cut into the lungs, but sadly, you also go through it. Your hand is immediately enveloped in very wet, red, sticky substance.
What the hell, Dex?
Damn, we got like a pool going on here.
Stone, sir.
Oh, Stone, sorry. So many people.
Okay, so it looks like you punched through the lung rather than cut it open, but as you can see, there's a very gratuitous amount of blood pouring out.
Yeah, that's like a bucket of blood right there.
I do concur that this creature seemed to have choked on its own blood.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is awful.
This is great.
No one's forcing you to stay, man. So
Kind of
Yeah,
silence.
if
I
you're
like to get
uncomfortable,
into.
feel free to leave. But
I'm
otherwise,
just saying is it's mean to do this to things.
I mean, have you seen what mole rats do to people?
Look, they're just hungry, man.
Look this way. Now we can put out not for our people to eat this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Dude, I'm coating
Yeah,
my boots
I
in this.
definitely learned this lesson.
you're coating your boots in this.
I'd like to offer another hypothesis on the death of this creature. Perhaps in choking on its own blood, it panicked and, instead of having seizures, thrashed about till it killed itself.
You
That's
might be
fucking
right about
awful.
that.
I mean, whenever something's choking on something, it tends to go into a panic mode. So, might have been choking on the blood and just thrashing itself around.
Yeah, trying to make sense of everything. It was probably feeling a lot of different things at once.
I feel sorry for the guy, but we learned a lot from this.
You think that would work?
Yep.
Yeah, wait, you said it ate too much, so they probably actually enjoy eating that stuff, right?
Well, I had to hide it in their food to get them to eat
Oh.
it.
Okay.
So they understand something's wrong with it, but at least we can closer understand what it is.
Look, if I find any flowers in my food today, I'm gonna be very upset and probably dead too.
Don't get the spring salad then.
Hey, what's a safe human dosage of this stuff, man? Because, like, I wouldn't mind even eating it. That way, if one of these bastards takes me down, I know that it's going too.
So that's a good point,
Well-
because you did say these were medicinal, and all I've seen is medicinally dying.
Well, as I said, the settlers do use it in their elderly population, and they say it helps as a tea, and then it was only in very high dosages that it managed to get this bad.
I concur. Tea would have diluted the dosage anyways, and safe to assume that unless you're stuffing your mouth with the raw version of this and eating it in large quantities, you'll be safe.
Yeah, consuming 3 or 4 leaves will not kill you. It may make you feel a little weird and it might give you diarrhea, but that's probably the worst you're going to feel. Because we do have to remember, these guys are also only 55 pounds or so compared to us, who are around 200.
speak for yourself,
I mean,
man.
I guess that's good.
You got to think of body to dosage proportionality.
How much of my leg would this thing have to eat if I was going to kill it if I drank this tea?
You would have
Considering
to drink
you would have to drink so much, you would be physically ill of this stuff, and then it would have to eat most of your leg.
All right, that's a terrible idea then.
I think
best
the only
guess,
best way to.
best guess for me, if you wish to use it to repair the morats, then just stuff the flower in your boots or something.
Or
Love how-
use a syringer. You could put it in a syringe gun, shoot it at him.
We came here trying to learn about medicinal properties, and Carlson just wants to use it to get revenge on Molerat.
I hate him, man. I hate him.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good
I'm
tactic.
with him. More than one morat has stolen my good dandy boy apples.
You know how many nightmares I've had where I wake up just hearing that scream as they breach? Ugh.
You know, I'm old, but you know, those things used to be cute before all this stuff. You know, maybe I'm just nostalgic, but
I mean, it's still kind of cute, you know, but they're.
yeah, but I don't like poisoning cute things.
But it's like Doom, man. Like, you're never safe, dude. You could just be walking down the street and those things just like pop out and chase you.
Look, I put out my animals in a humane way by shooting them in the face. Not poisoning them.
Well, they won't do the same favor to you, man.
No,
Hey,
you gotta
we-
be better than them.
If we can save ammo by just poisoning them, I think it would be a good tactic.
I'm wrapping these flowers around my boots, man.
Well, we can see about trying to concentrate them and being able to use them with our trank guns. Otherwise, this does seem to have some sort of medicinal property.
Yeah, that seems like a cool idea too, actually.
So what exactly
You would
is
have
medicinal
to-
property? Like,
Makes you poop.
Blood thinner and makes you poop.
so it's a laxative.
You know, we could use it on those blood eagle dudes. You know, I like them less than mole rats, to be honest with you.
Well, we don't know if it suppresses the pain receptors or not. So, I mean, it could still be used as a painkiller.
Yeah, that's tests we'd have to do. We'd have to play with the dosages to figure out exactly what's safe and what's not.
You guys play with the dosages.
Yeah, somebody would have to do a survey every time they took a dose. Tell us how they feel.
So,
Look, this is one drug I'm not testing.
can we like package this and like sell it to them?
Ooh, I like the selling of the drugs. Are we allowed to do that?
I mean,
Does the Brotherhood condone becoming a drug cartel?
I don't know, man. I have the idea, you know. I don't know if it's a medicine in the wasteland, right? Would help people.
Look, I know you guys don't remember the pre-war, but you know, our government did that, so I think it's cool.
It'd have to be authorized. It could be a trade option that we could do with
Yeah,
the
we could
settlers,
ask-
maybe.
We could ask Africa.
Yeah, and there's certain drugs that like aren't that bad. You know, we probably shouldn't sell like jet and stuff, but you know, we could find out stuff.
Well, what's jet?
I mean, yeah, those different drugs.
What would we name
Like
it?
The doucher. Ha ha ha.
The tunneler.
Just tunneler.
The bottom pit.
I mean, that's a pretty good name, tunneler, because it tunnels your bowels out of your body.
Yeah. Oh, this
Don't
is-
just
It
say
like
bombs.
tunnels through your intestines and makes you die.
Oh,
No, we can't
No.
put that on the ad.
yeah. That's bad. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna hurt people with this. Wait. If they took too much, this is a terrible idea. If they took too much of it, they could die. We can't do that.
I mean, to be fair,
Just
any
put a-
drug may take too much.
Just put a disclaimer label on it. We'll be good. We'll just be
No.
like, hey, you didn't follow instructions.
Not everyone can read.
Yeah, it's true, especially now. And you should have seen Vasilio when he first came here. He probably would have read it and been like, yeah, okay, so I need to eat more.
Yeah,
Well,
spent
look,
a lot
hey.
of strong, long study nights with that dude.
If those settlers can build all those construction buildings and stuff, one of them's got to know how to read.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him read it before.
What about a book? Maybe if we put a book together on, like, the plant life and what is New Appalachia and its medicinal uses.
You know, that's
Well, we are kind
a
of
really
working
good
on
idea.
that. I know Doc Mello is starting to do research into the medicinal side of different plants, and I've been doing the nutritional side.
You know, back when I wasn't here, you know, me and my friends took a lot of drugs, and they died a lot. So it'd probably be good if there was a book that told you, you know, which drugs to take and which would make you die, because there was a lot of experimenting and a lot of dying.
We'll put some pictures in it for those that can't read.
That's good. I like
There
pictures.
you go.
So, like,
Look,
But yeah. Go ahead.
So like no random, psycho or anything.
you see, I know we don't really like the Raiders, but probably less dead bodies isn't a horrible thing, I guess, because disease and stuff.
I have no sympathy for the Raiders.
Yeah, me too. I've never talked to them before. I don't know who they are.
So, Steel, is there anything else we need to check out?
No, I think this about covers it. I don't know what else those symptoms would pertain to physical wise. Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Out of character, I lost audio, but I'm not going to leave so the thing doesn't collapse, so just don't talk to me.
Was that about wrap it up, Stu, or we got anything else?
Yeah, that wraps it up. I don't think these symptoms pertain to any other organ or body part. The only thing left to do is to wrap this thing up and toss.
All right. Good.
I'll take care of the cleanup if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll help you.
You really jumped on that. Very.
Hey, Martin, you got a rag in your pouch over here? And let me check this out. Get this out.
I
Oh,
have,
sorry, man. I'm getting blood all over the
Whoa,
back
whoa,
of your
whoa!
uniform. My
Get
bad.
up! Don't touch there.
Oh, my bad, dude.
Not in front of everyone else, at least.
I have a particular interest in the Molerat skin for future uses, so let's try to preserve that as much as possible and clean up.
Do you think if we left little like mole rat sacrificial effigies up everywhere, the mole rats would be scared?
I think the smell of rotting flesh would attract them more than anything.
Damn it, man.
And other nasty.
I think.
Yeah,
we
I
need
think
a psychologist.
cannibalistic.
Yeah, I think you're giving them more credit on their intelligence than they are.
No, just spitballing, All
But
right.
yeah, and as I said, I do have a bunch of mole rat broods I'm currently raising. If you do need to borrow one for an experiment, I can always pull out one of our carrier cages and loan you one.
All right,
that word
most
borrow you
excellent.
throw in there has a lot of different connotations, I feel.
Well, I'd prefer if I'd get my mole rat back.
Like, all I'm saying is I've seen some people do
well.
some really bad things with, animals, so just probably want like a log or something. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep log of who takes how many, but
All right. Well, thanks for the autopsy, man. It's been educational. I've seen more of the insides of a mole rat than I ever wanted to.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get it on my jacket. Remind me next time not to wear my best jacket.
Smart.
Thanks.